Good morning, children. So, firstly, I'd like to ask you some questions. So, when you observe surroundings, you can find many plants and animals. So, can you say whether they are living or non-living? Yeah, very good. They are living things. And how can you say that they are living? How? Yeah, by observing some characters. What are they? They grow. They grow means during the course of time they increased in their size and shape, right? And then they breathe. That means as many years they survive, they go on breathing. There is also one important property. And what's the last one? They reproduce. Reproduce means these plants and animals, they have the capacity to generate or produce new organisms that resemble themselves. Resemble means they appear like parents, right? So what do you call that property? That property can be called as reproduction. So we can say reproduction is a very important property of living things, right? Now in this session we are going to deal a new lesson, that is reproduction in animals. Already in 7th class we studied reproduction in plants, right? Sexual reproduction and also asexual reproduction. Like see, have you seen this potato bryophyllum? Okay, and even we studied about this datura flower, the different types of parts in the datura and what are their important roles, all these things, right? So in this session we're going to deal with a new lesson, that is the reproduction in animals. Yeah. Now come to our topic. So what's the first one? That is the reproduction in animals. When we observe our surroundings, in our surroundings you can find different varieties of animals. And can I say that all these animals are reproducing in the same fashion, in the same manner? No. Say for example, in villages, in almost all the houses we can find a hen or a chicks, right? They lay the eggs, and what we do? That means we keep these eggs under the hen for how many days? Yeah, 21 days. And after 21 days, what happens? See, these eggs hatches. Eggs hatch and they develop the small chicks, right? So here, when you take this chick, the chick is giving the birth. How? That means with the help of a egg. First it lays the eggs and then egg develops into young one. So in this way, some animals will give the birth to young ones with the help of eggs. That means by laying eggs. And can you give some examples for such animals? Yeah, very good. So lizard, have you seen the eggs of a lizard? Yeah, even a snake also. Snake, then a fish. And when your mother cuts this fish before cooking, so you can find inside the fish, you can find a mass of eggs. And you may think that it's a female, but actually both the male and the female fish contain this eggs. And even frog. In frog also you can find the same. Then different types of mosquitoes. Mosquito insects like mosquitoes, housefly, then honeybee, all these things, all these insects, they lay the eggs. And the birds like say this a crow, hen, all these things. Totally we can say in birds, reptiles and insects. Birds, reptiles and insects, we can find this kind of reproduction. But I know in some of the houses we learn pet animals. We grow these pet animals like dog, cat, like these. Have you seen how they give the birth? Whether they lay the eggs? No. So here, some of the animals, they give the birth directly to the young ones, right? So for example, when you take a dog, rat, cat, elephant, human being, like this, these animals, they don't give any eggs, but directly they give birth to young ones. Okay, so in this way, we can find two types of animals depending upon their reproduction, right? So some lay the eggs and some they give a direct birth to their young ones, right? So, say for example, there is one animal and you got a question whether that animal will give the birth to the young one directly or it lays the eggs. Think that it's a new animal, you don't know about that animal. Then how you can find that? Yeah, here by identifying two characters. With the help of two characters, we can say whether that is egg laying animal or it gives a direct birth to the young ones. So let's see what are those characters means. The first one, some of the animals they have external ears. External ears. So whenever you observe the sides of our head, you can find what? Ear, right? So can you see your ear or not? Yes. So whatever the part you can see, that ear can be called as an external ear, right? So the animals which are having an external ear and then epidermal hair. Epidermal hair means, so when you observe the over the head, we can find a hair, and then see over our body also, especially on hands also we can find some hair, right? So all this hair can be called as a epidermal hair. Epidermal hair. Why epidermal hair means, our skin is made up of a special tissue. That tissue can be called as a epidermis. Epidermis. And this epidermis produces a hair. Okay, that's why we call that hair as a epidermal hair. So the animals which are having these two, that is external ears and epidermal hair, those animals, they give direct birth to the young ones. Got it? And what we call such animals means, we call them as viviparous animals. Viviparous animals. Got it? So what are those two characters? The animals with the external ears and epidermal hair. And in some animals, we cannot find any external ear or epidermal hair. Okay. So such animals, what they do means, they lay the eggs. They lay the eggs, and what we call such animals means, we call them as oviparous animals. Oviparous animals. Got it? So these are the two types of animals depending upon their mode of reproduction. Got it? So what are they? Oviparous and viviparous animals. Oviparous means egg-laying animals can be called as oviparous, while animals which give direct birth to their young ones, they can be called as viviparous. Got it, children? Okay, and here we can find some pictures. See. And what is this? Yeah, elephant. And here, if you carefully observe this elephant, you can find what? You can find this ears, external ears, right? Okay, and then here we can find here also, this is a dog. In a dog also we can find very long ears, external ears, right? And even, what is this? All this is hair, right? So this animal contains both, there is external ears and epidermal hair. And even in elephant also, over the elephant body also we can find some hair. Have you seen? Yeah, if you carefully observe, you can find that, right? And the next come to another example. So what is this? Cat. Even in cat, we can find clearly, we can find this external ears, and over the body we can find a very thick hair, epidermal hair, right? So it is also viviparous animal. And then this is a lion, and in a lion also we can find epidermal hair, and these are external ears. So what is this? Yeah, viviparous. And the next one here, this is a camel, and yeah, just now it went to this parlor, and that's why it appears to be very, very beautiful, right? Yeah, here what is this? External ear, and then here we can find a very beautiful hair. Yeah, there is external hair, epidermal hair, right? So it is also viviparous. And see here, in human beings, over the hands, in some people we can find a very thick hair like this. This is said to be epidermal hair. Epidermal hair. So, by observing these two characters, we can classify or we can divide the animals whether they are oviparous or viviparous. Got it, children? Yeah. Now, let's come to next topic. Here, in a textbook, there are two tables. You just observe this table very carefully. First table. What is the first one? Animals that have external ears and do not have external ears. Okay. First, deer. Can you find external ears in deer? Yes. Yeah, deer. Okay. Then leopard. Yeah. In leopard also we can find. And then a pig also we can find. And for example, take buffalo. In buffalo also we can find external. Then giraffe. Yeah. In giraffe also. Then take this crow. Sorry. Come to elephant. Elephant. Yeah. Here also we can find external ears. But when we take there's a snake. In a snake we cannot find any external ears. Then in a crow also, in a birds also, birds like a crow. The next lizard also we cannot find any external ear. Then a sparrow, sparrow is a bird, so here also we cannot. And then frog, and then fish. So this is the way how we can divide these animals depending upon the first character. What is that? That is the external ears, right? And now come to the next second table. What is that? Presence of external ears, presence of epidermal hair over the skin or feathers on their wings. In some of the animals we can find a hair, and in some animals we can find a fur. Fur means, have you seen this a polar bear? No, there you can find a very thick hair, that is said to be fur. And in case of birds, the hair is converted into feathers, right? Like this. Now, take the first example. What is that? Cow. Yeah, cow. In cow, can you find any external ear or not? Yes. Yeah. So, in cow we can find external ear, and hair. Yeah, hair is also present. And then rat. What about rat? In rat also we can find both. Then take a pig, and a pig also we can find both. And then a fox, yes. The next camel. Then take this elephant. Then buffalo. Then cat. Then take this peacock, right? So here in this we can find both these two, external ears and also epidermal hair. And what about the next one? Sorry, in peacock we cannot. In peacock we can find hair, okay, but ears, external ears are not present, right? And the remaining animals. See, when you take this crow, the next when you take say this crow, the next hen, then duck, frog, then a pigeon, peacock, lizard. In all these animals, we cannot find any external ear, and of course in some animals we can find feathers. But for example, take this lizard. Can you find any hair? No. There, hair is completely absent, but in the place of hair, we can find the scales. We call them as scales. Have you seen this fish? Over the fish also we can find the scales, right? So, you please go through these two tables and complete these tables, right? Okay. Now, go to the next topic. What is that? That is modes of reproduction. Already in 7th class we studied about this reproduction in plants, that is vegetative propagation or sexual reproduction and also sexual reproduction. And we learned about this potato, know how this potato reproduce. Potato with the help of what? Eyes and then a brain film. Already shown you that leaf, right? So which part help in reproduction? Yeah, there is a leaf, right? So in the same way, just like these two plants, the animals also show two types of reproductions. There is asexual and a sexual. Asexual and a sexual. So here, when you observe some of the animals, in those animals, gametes are not produced. Here, gametes, what is mean by gametes means sex cells. Sex cells or the reproductive cells can be called as gametes. In a male, we call that as a sperm, and in a female, we call that as a ovum. Right? So what do you call these two? These two can be called as gametes. So sperm is said to be the male and ovum is said to be the female. So here gametes are not produced. When gametes are not produced, is there any chance for their fusion? That means whether they combine with each other? No. Why means they are not produced. Okay, but even then, they are able to reproduce. They are able to produce the young ones, right? So what we call that mode of reproduction means we call that as a asexual reproduction. So what is asexual reproduction means? When an animal is able to produce a new organism without gametes, then we call that as a asexual. But when gametes are produced and the gametes are fused and the animal is formed, then we call that as a sexual, right? So in coming topics we can deal with that. But now we're going to study about this asexual reproduction. Okay, and what are the examples means? Mostly this asexual reproduction can be seen in primitive animals, first formed animals, and even in some higher animals also. So the best examples are, say, this amoeba, the next paramecium, then Hydra, like this, right? So in this lesson, we're going to study about this asexual reproduction in the amoeba and the paramecium, amoeba and Hydra. Now come to first one, that is budding in a Hydra. Budding. What is a budding means? It is a kind of asexual reproduction, right? So this animal, this Hydra, is a microscopic animal actually. Say here, if you carefully observe, the animal appears like this. Don't think that it is a plant. It is an animal, and here this is called a pedal disc, and here this is a mouth, and here we can find some hairy structures, and these are called as tentacles. These are called tentacles, right? And now, so when you observe this Hydra, how this Hydra reproduces asexually means, see here, this is body wall, right? So from the side of this body, a small structure will appear like this. Have you seen? Okay, and later this structure will increase in size. Now what do you call this structure? Means we call that as a bird. B-U-D, not B-I-R-D, right? Bird, right? Now this bird grows in size, and later this bird will develop all these tentacles, everything, just like a parent, right? So once the bird formation is completed, then what happens means, between the bird and animal, what happens? See, a cut will form, a small cut will form like this, and as a result, the bird gets separated. Now, the bird can survive as an independent animal. So in this way, directly from the parent, a new animals or a new young ones are produced. So here in this picture, we can find only one bird, but so we can find not only one, even more than one birds are also formed in the same way. Got it? So here first small bulging appear. Bulging means increase in the structure, and later it increases in size and it develops tentacles, and once this bird formation is completed, So it gets separated. It gets separated from the parent. Alright. So what we call this process means this is called as a budding in a hydra. Alright, children. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you.